Hey guys, Callum Gibbs here, and today I want to talk to you guys about homeschooling versus public schooling. Now, for some people, the discussion of homeschooling versus traditional schooling or public schooling is as emotive as discussing religion, politics, or even sexual preferences. Both styles of education come from their own sets of strengths and weaknesses. How children learn is a major factor in determining the type of education that you choose, and what they learn is a factor of this decision as well. Whether they are homeschooled or educated within the public-private school system, all children learn the same fundamentals of reading, writing, solving basic mathematical equations, and the basic learning processes as a whole. So in recent years, more and more individuals are choosing to homeschool rather than attend public school. The overall environment in which a child learns is important to consider, as every child is an individual. No two child is the same. Generally, humans are social creatures. They crave interactions with others. There is often a huge misconception with the idea of being homeschooled and the children not being socially adequate. But is this really true? According to Homeschool World magazine, over 2.4 million students are now being homeschooled. That's a 75% increase from the year of 1999. When talking to the parents who homeschooled their children, 73% of them stated that the reason why they're homeschooling their children is because they're dissatisfied with the American school system. Homeschooling is an option for these families who are not fully satisfied with the local community school systems or the services within that community. They often opt for the education system that gives them more freedom both academically and from a schedule point of view. When a child enters into a public school system, they're automatically scheduled to fit that school's calendar or schedule. Their schedule does not give them room for sick days, vacation time, or even family needs. Homeschooling offers these families the freedom to take those vacations, those out-of-season peak times that are often cheaper than they would normally be for regular time breaks. Subjects can be moved around and rescheduled if a child is sick. So having this freedom allows families to be more hands-on on any subject. It enables them to visit museums, galleries, and historical places, and to even take a deeper look into certain subjects. Public school systems are normally limited to fewer field trips due to the cost and number of students, also due to the location, transportation, and the time constraints that it has to transport the kids back and forward. Students also have more time to rest during the school day, and as the school day can function around the child's needs, and not just the needs of the larger population or the transportation requirements. Research has shown that teenagers learn better later on in the day, giving them more time to wake up. However, schools are constricted to certain times due to the number of schools within a certain district, the transportation schedules of that community, and the available community facilities. When looking at the environment of homeschooling versus public schooling, for some families, having their child at home is safer, more comfortable learning option, and the child is not faced with peer pressure of wearing the right clothes or shoes, or even playing the right video games. They're also not peer pressured into fitting in the same cliques. They don't have to deal with bullying or the emotional academic pressure. They also don't have as many negative influences while being at home. Overall, providing them with a calmer, more peaceful environment that allows the child to take learning at their own pace and their own style. Homeschooling makes learning is tailored to meet each individual child's needs. Usually, the element of a 1-to-1 ratio, so a parent and a child, the curriculum can be tailored to the child's needs to look at their personal interests. And it allows greater time for understanding of that child if they're struggling within a specific subject. On the flip side of this, the world may argue that public education enables the children to learn all of these skills, but be able to apply them with interactions with other students and negotiate about problems or fix problems that they have with other students. While doing some research, I decided to consult some individuals from both homeschooling side and the public side of schooling. I wanted to know what they actually thought about homeschooling and why they chose the educational system that they opted for. There were three common questions that homeschool parents were often asked. How do you manage your socialized child? How do you manage the socialize of your child? So this question is a misconception of what homeschooling is. Children are generally not locked within their homes without access to the outside world. Many of the children, in fact, have more time to socialize, and they attend things such as Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, 4-HG, after-school athletics, and many other activities that are available within the homeschooling groups and the community colleges or sports centers throughout the day. So the real question, is it really a question? Come on guys, let's be real. The next question was, how do you have the patience to spend all that time educating and being with your children? Well, children who are homeschooled are generally have a closer relationship with their parents, as their learning takes place to suit the family's needs. Whereas often, children who attend public schools come home, they're tired from the long day at school. Then the parents come home from a long day at work, so they're equally as tired. Then the parents are often expected to juggle household needs, extra activities for the kids, and even meal preparations, as well as the homework assignment that the child has that night if they have problems, making learning unenjoyable. Now the last question was, do you homeschool for any specific reason? People opt to homeschool for many different reasons. One of them being religion. Religion being one that many instantly pursue. Other homeschooling for specific reasons are the location of the school, the ratings of local communities at that school, and the educational preferences of family, class sizes, and the opposition to government-mandated standardized testings and curriculums. A couple of homeschooling parents also stated how expensive homeschooling can be. Due to the purchase of curriculum, educational equipment, and the fact that one parent generally can't hold a stable job at a time while trying to teach their student at the same time, makes a really big difference and is hard for the parents. So when it comes to education, it is clear that there's not one size fits all. The argument of socialization can be argued in both a positive and a negative way for either homeschooling or public schooling. In today's society, both forms of education rely heavily on technology and multimedia for dispersions. It's just a matter of personal preference. What would you choose?